Hi there, this is Beth Nissen, and this school year, all first grade students will be screened for gifted identification in the superior cognitive category. The Ohio Department of Education requires that students are tested once in the primary grades and once in the middle grades for possible superior cognitive ability. You're wondering, why is first grade being tested at the end of this school year? We are testing at the end of first grade this school year for possible gifted identification so that those students who are identified as gifted in first grade can be clustered together in second grade at the beginning of the school year and receive gifted services at the start of their second grade school year. In second grade, starting next school year, the gifted intervention specialist will work with the gifted students in clusters to provide enrichment and accelerated learning opportunities. In addition, the classroom teacher will provide differentiated materials, resources, and support with the help of that gifted intervention specialist, who can go into the classroom and support that second grade teacher and can provide things for the second grade teacher to meet the needs of those clustered students. The rest of this video will be an overview of what this test will look like in your classroom and how Sarah and I will be supporting you from the beginning to the end.
Sarah and I are partners with the NNAT3 Naglieri assessment. We're excited to go back out into every classroom and to assist you with helping your students to log in to the assessment and to do sample problems, hear the directions, and then go ahead and start the assessment. It's a 30-minute assessment. It is all based on puzzles and patterns and high-level thinking. The assessment is one that is highly effective because it identifies those students who have superior cognitive, very high-level thinking. They can process things by holding information, predicting, making connections, and it's unbiased in the way that it's not. Students won't have a barrier with vocabulary, reading, skills with math. It does what it needs to do in identifying the students if they have a high level of superior thinking. Next slide. It's a 30-minute. There's 48 questions. There's no audio for this test. And the students, there's no visual student clock on the screen, but they have 30 minutes and then there will be a stop sign. And it's all patterns and predicting the next shape or looking at a large picture and picking the piece, like a puzzle piece that would fit within that large piece. The first thing that we will have your students do is open their Chromebook and go to the test nav that's on the Chromebook. Students will log in using their student ID as a username, and then all of a specific grade level at a specific school will have the same password. The password is the same for all students in that grade level in school, which we call a session. Proctors do not start the test, so that's unusual, but the teacher nor Sarah or I will start the test. The test starts when the students hit start, when they actually click the start button and they've already entered their username and password, so it will start their 30 minutes. The test, again, is nonverbal, and the introduction takes about 5 minutes. And that doesn't include the 30 minutes of the actual assessment. When the student is finished, a stop sign will appear and the student has to click End Test. And we will be sure to explain that to the students to click End Test. In fact, what we've done in the past that worked well is we just tell the students to raise their hand when they see the stop sign, and then we say, great job, click End Test. If they don't click End Test, then it will show up for me that the test is not completely closed yet. Not the end of the world. I'll get back out there and help the student click End Test, but that's a great procedure just to get things done efficiently. Here's an example for the primary grades. You can see that in the sample, sideways, up, sideways, up, sideways, up, that kind of thing, and they would predict the next shape. So they're looking at a few attributes. Not only are they looking at the direction of the shape, but they're looking at the color of the shape, and they're looking at the shape itself. So 3 different attributes. You can imagine that it gets much harder as at the upper grades and more complex.
To make logging into the test go as smoothly as we can and quickly as we can, we do need adult support to get the first graders logged into the test. This will take some time, but the more adult support we have, the better.
Here's the steps for logging into with the script. And we will use this. If you could have this slide deck up on your screen, we'll just walk through this with the students. So the students do not sign in. They click the bottom corner activate button, and rather the waffle that says apps, they go to test nav. And we go very slow and careful. So once they bring it up, once they click test nav, this is what it will look like. And we're showing them on the Google slide. Don't touch any of the states over there. I know it's tempting, but you're going to click NNAT3. And then up at the right where it says number 1, we have to be sure that the students click NNAT3 again there. We get the right tab to sign into. And then we have cards that I sent in an email that are the login cards. And if one person could pass those out to the teachers that the classes, that would be helpful. They're a bulk group of login cards for the grade level. So the students have their card, they put in their username, which is their user ID. And then the password is the same for all the students in that grade level at that school. Once they do that, this is what the screen will look like. And this is where they're not starting the test, and we're sure to tell the students that. They're just starting the samples. So they will click start. And this is where we'll walk through the samples and give the directions. And this is the first sample problem for all grade levels. And this is what we say. This is part of the test directions. Look at what the boy is doing. He's looking for the answer. The blue square is the answer because it looks like the others. Now click the arrow in the bottom right-hand corner to see the next picture. They click the bottom right. Now you select that correct answer that we just talked about. Click on the answer. So they would click on the the answer that has the blue square. And they are making the analysis that it's a square, it's blue, and the background is yellow. So all those criteria are going through their mind as they're choosing the blue square. Now click or tap the forward arrow at the bottom of the screen. Now when they click that blue square, it does not move to the mat. It just shows a highlight around the blue square that they have chosen that as the answer. And we like to point that out, that it's not going to pop in there. Then they can go backwards or forwards at any time. They can go back and change an answer by the indicator in the bottom right corner. Here's the next sample. Look at this picture. There's a piece missing. Which one is the answer? And so they're analyzing the 5 choices and they raise their hand. It's the 4th one, and we ask why they know that. Yellow background, horizontal lines going the right way, the lines are blue, and we say, go ahead and click 4, and they'll see that it's highlighted to show the answer. Here's the next one. Thank you, Sarah. Look at the picture, there's a piece missing. Tap the answer that you think shows which picture should go next in this pattern. And the answer any questions, but do not teach these students strategies for solving the items. So when you're doing the test, when they're answering the questions, we don't want to walk them through any of the answers like we're doing with the sample. So click the arrow to go to the next page. Okay, there's 3 sample problems. Those are the types of problems that they'll see. And so the samples are done. Now it says a stop sign, which is different, and it might be alarming because you might think, what, end the test? No, it's ending the sample problems. So we tell the students, indicate that you're at the end of the sample by clicking end. And then we say pause, hands in the air, hands on your lap. Don't click forward yet, because if they do, then they may start the test. The next screen that they will get will be to start the test. So we want to get these directions in, and so we go ahead with, there are more questions to answer, 48 questions total. Look at each one carefully and pick the answer you think is best. Do not spend too much time on any one question. Do as many as you can. If you want to change your answer, click or touch on your new answer. So you can click a different answer if you change your mind. At any time, you may click or touch the arrow to go back to a previous question. Are there any questions? Be sure to answer all the questions. When you get to the end of the test, here's another important part that I already mentioned, you will see a stop sign. You can go back to look at your work or raise your hand to let us know you're finished. And when they raise their hand, that's when we'll congratulate them, and then we'll say, touch end test. So ready, everyone, click the start button, and that start button starts their timer. So you can see the screen that they see while we're reading the directions looks like this, with the NNAT3 in the middle. The bottom right corner has a blue arrow, and it says click the button to continue. So click the button, and they continue, and they start the test. Okay. The stop at the end, when after the 48 problems are completed, or if the time is ended, they will click end test. You can't quite read it, but it says click end.
Thank you for signing up for the NNAT3 test, and we'll see you in April.